It didn't start with a headline. It started with a feeling. And suddenly, everything about Kim Taehyung in 2.0 felt different. April 2026, when BTS released 2.0, most fans expected another powerful comeback. A strong concept, polished visuals, and the kind of performance the group is globally known for. But what they didn't expect was silence. Not literal silence, but a different kind of energy, a slower rhythm, a visual atmosphere that didn't rush to impress, but instead invited viewers to feel. And at the center of that shift stood Kim Taehyung. More than just a music video. From its opening scene, 2.0 immediately separates itself from conventional K-pop releases. There are no overwhelming transitions. No rapid-fire choreography dominating every frame. Instead, the video leans into mood, lingering shots, controlled lighting, and a sense of space that feels almost cinematic. Each moment unfolds deliberately, like a scene from a film rather than a segment of a performance video. For many viewers, this wasn't just a stylistic choice. It felt like a statement. Among all the members, Taehyung's presence in 2.0 has become a focal point of discussion. It's not about screen time. It's about impact. His expressions are quieter, yet heavier. His movements are slower, but more intentional. Instead of performing outwardly, he seems to draw everything inward, creating a kind of tension that pulls the viewer closer. This isn't the Taehyung fans first fell in love with. This is something more refined, more controlled, and arguably more cinematic. Almost immediately after the video's release, fans began connecting the dots. Online discussions exploded with one central idea. What if 2.0 isn't just a concept, but a direction? And more specifically, what if Taehyung is playing a key role in shaping it? While there is no official confirmation, the theory isn't baseless. Taehyung has long been known for his strong artistic sensibilities. His interest in classic films, vintage photography, and emotionally driven visuals has been well documented. So when 2.0 presented a concept that aligned so closely with those interests, fans took notice. If Chapter 1 raised the question, Chapter 2 begins to explore the evidence. Because what makes 2.0 stand out isn't just its vibe, it's the language it uses. Lighting that tells a story. One of the most striking elements of the 2.0 music video is its lighting. Instead of bright, high-contrast visuals typical of many K-pop productions, the video uses softer, more diffused lighting. Shadows are allowed to exist. Darkness isn't avoided, it's embraced. This creates depth. In cinema, lighting isn't just about visibility, it's about emotion. And in 2.0, every shadow feels intentional. The power of stillness. Another key difference is pacing. Where most music videos rely on constant movement to maintain attention, 2.0 does the opposite. It slows things down. Moments linger longer than expected. Movements are minimal. Silence, or near silence, becomes part of the experience. And Taehyung thrives in this environment. His ability to hold a frame without doing much is what makes these moments powerful. He doesn't need exaggerated gestures. A glance, a pause, a subtle shift in expression. That's enough. That's cinematic presence. A narrative without explanation. Perhaps the most intriguing aspect of 2.0 is its ambiguity. There's no clear storyline. No obvious beginning, middle, and end. Instead, the video presents fragments, moments that feel connected, yet undefined. This kind of storytelling is common in film, especially in more artistic or experimental works. It invites interpretation. And that's exactly what's happening at this point. The speculation becomes more focused. Because the question is no longer just about the concept. It's about authorship, a style that feels familiar. Longtime fans quickly noticed that the aesthetic of 2.0 feels familiar, not from BTS's past releases, but from Taehyung himself. His personal photography style has often leaned toward muted tones and emotional subtlety. His recommendations in film and music frequently reflect a preference for slower, more introspective works. In other words, this isn't a sudden shift. It's a continuation. Influence versus control. It's important to be clear. There is no confirmed information that Taehyung directed or fully conceptualized 2.0. But influence doesn't require full control. In collaborative environments like BTS, ideas evolve through input. If Taehyung brought even part of his artistic vision into the project, it could naturally shape the final result. And based on what fans are seeing, that influence feels present, from performer to creative voice. If this interpretation is correct, it marks a significant evolution. Taehyung is no longer just executing a concept. He may be helping define it. That shift, from performer to creative contributor, is what makes this moment feel important. If 2.0 represents a turning point, its impact won't be limited to one song. It could signal something bigger, expanding the BTS identity. BTS has always been known for reinvention. Each era brings a new concept, a new sound, a new message. But 2.0 feels different. It doesn't feel like a temporary concept. It feels like an expansion, a move towards something more layered, where music, visuals, and narrative exist as one. The role of individual growth. Each BTS member has been evolving individually, and those changes naturally influence the group. In Taehyung's case, his growing interest in cinematic storytelling could be contributing to this shift. Not dominating it, but shaping it. And if that influence continues, future BTS projects could lean further into this direction. A global perspective. This shift also aligns with global trends. Audiences today are drawn to artists who offer more than just music. They want experiences, stories that unfold across different mediums. By embracing a cinematic approach, BTS could strengthen their position as global artists, not just K-pop idols. And Taehyung may be one of the key figures guiding that transition. What started as a single release has now become a conversation. 2.0 is no longer just a song. It's a question, a possibility, a turning point. And at the center of it all is Kim Taehyung, not loudly claiming attention, but quietly reshaping IT. At this point, the conversation around 2.0 has gone far beyond a single release. Fans are no longer just analyzing scenes, they're building theories. And one of the most talked about ideas right now is this. What if this is only the beginning of something much bigger? Not just a concept, a connected story. In online communities, a new phrase has started to circulate: Taehyung's cinematic universe. It may sound exaggerated at first, but the theory is surprisingly detailed. Fans believe that 2.0 could be the first chapter in a larger narrative, one that might continue across future music videos, solo projects, or even short films. Instead of isolated concepts, each release could act as a piece of a bigger story. And if that's true, then what we've seen so far is only the introduction. Why Taehyung fits this theory. This idea didn't come out of nowhere. Kim Taehyung has long shown an interest in storytelling that goes beyond music. His appreciation for film, photography, and mood-driven visuals makes him one of the most likely members to explore this kind of narrative approach. More importantly, his current artistic direction already feels connected. The tone, the pacing, the emotional depth. In storytelling, leaving gaps is a powerful tool. It allows the audience to participate, to build meaning rather than just receive it. If Taehyung is intentionally leaning into this style, it suggests a level of artistic awareness that goes beyond standard concept execution. If 2.0 is a hint, then the next logical question is, where does Taehyung go from here? A solo era unlike any other. Speculation about Taehyung's next solo project has been growing rapidly. But this time, it's not just about music. Fans believe that his next era could combine a full-length album, a series of interconnected visuals, a narrative that unfolds over time. In other words, not just a comeback, but an experience. Based on his current direction, it's possible that Taehyung's future music could move even further away from traditional structures. Instead of focusing on catchy hooks or high-energy production, he may lean into atmosphere over intensity, emotion over perfection, story over structure. This doesn't mean less impact. It means a different kind of impact, one that builds slowly and stays longer. Another major point of speculation is acting. Taehyung has already shown interest in this field, and a cinematic artistic identity naturally aligns with it. If he continues in this direction, future projects could blur the line between music and film entirely. Imagine a release where each song represents a chapter, each visual tells part of a story, and Taehyung himself plays a central character. It's ambitious, but not impossible. If Taehyung is truly moving in this direction, the implications go beyond his personal career. They could influence the industry itself. K-pop has always been innovative, but it often follows certain patterns, especially when it comes to music videos and concept execution. A fully cinematic, narrative-driven approach at this scale could challenge those patterns. It would raise expectations, not just for visuals, but for storytelling. Global audiences are changing. They're no longer satisfied with isolated content. They want connected experiences, something they can follow, analyze, and emotionally invest in. If Taehyung delivers that, it wouldn't just attract fans. It would create a deeper level of engagement. This kind of artistic direction also strengthens global positioning. Artists who can merge multiple forms, music, film, fashion, stand out in a crowded market. They're not limited by one medium. Taehyung already has the presence. If he fully embraces this cinematic identity, he could redefine how he's perceived, not just as an idol, but as a multidimensional artist.